Good afternoon, Titans, and welcome to this intro edition of Titan Television. I'm Bailey Bergen.
And I'm Allie Marriott. This edition of Titan TV was put together by the Intro to Broadcasting students. Recently, a childhood movie was brought back to the theater.
The film itself has already grossed about $70 million.
Here's two fellow classmates with the movie review.
I'm Madison Seeger.
And I'm Taylor Scott, here to tell you about a Disney movie that hit the theaters once again this year.
Cinderella originated from Germany more than 200 years ago, so in real terms, that's like 13 times my age.
Recently, Cinderella came back this past spring to reinvent itself.
We got the chance to critique this movie, and the first thing that we realized was this movie was different than the others because it blew the other one out of the water.
The CGI animations are realistic and appealing to the eye. I couldn't get enough of it. The set felt so alive. I guess you can say I felt like I was in the movie myself, like the fourth wall didn't seem to exist.
It doesn't matter what age you are to see this movie. You don't even have to know the entire story to go see it.
Plus, if you haven't seen Frozen Fever, going to see Cinderella is the only possible way of seeing it.
I assume there's only one word to describe this movie, and that would be magical.
That's mainly all we have for this review on Titan TV.
Back to you in the studio.
There are some interesting job opportunities at your local Hy-Vee.
Here's Felicity Hosina with more.
Working at Hy-Vee doesn't always mean sacking groceries or working at the register. For the creative types, there is another option. But be prepared to wake up early.
Bakers come in at 2 o'clock in the morning. They pull out the donuts. They start getting the breads together. Get the Danish in the proof box. Then they bake the Italian bread. They get the donuts ready.
But it's not always a piece of cake.
There has to be a routine. You have to make sure everything's in its place all the time. Otherwise, you're kind of going in circles.
This job can be learned over time.
It's all hands-on training. For any of the positions here, it's just a matter of getting in here and putting in the hours. We've had 16-year-olds back there.
However,
It's better to be 18 because if you're 16, you can't use a bread slicer, you can't open the oven. You have to be 18 to be able to use that equipment, so 18 is just a better age.
no matter what age you start, there's always a place for you in the bakery.
I think you need to be creative. You need to have a little attention to detail, be able to follow directions very well. It's just fun because even though we're doing the same things every day is different.
With photographer Julia Noki, this is Felicity Hosina reporting for Titan Television.
Here's Maxine Nowachku and Devin Cole bringing you the details for this year's Mr. Titan.
Mr. Titan is an annual male pageant that raises money for Project Grad. Each candidate shows off his moves and his talent proportioned as well, formal wear and swimsuit category.
My talent is music and, I just love music, like rapping.
But even troubles won't stop Montel's motivations.
I haven't got the dance down really, intact, but I feel like I can make a comeback, and shock everybody. Well, I don't think I'm going to win, but, I know I'm going to win actually, because I'm just that kid,
Come out and support your fellow students here at West on April 22nd at 7 p.m. With photographer Maxine Nowachku, this is Devin Cole reporting for Titan Television.
Thanks, Devin.
If you can't catch this year's Mr. Titan, here's another event at West you don't want to miss.
Last year, Elise Summit West had their first school talent show. The show was put on by Kindness Council and benefited Hope House. This year, the talent show will benefit Hope House's Battered Women's Shelter and their outreach programs. You can expect many different kinds of talents to be shown this year. The show will be Friday, April 24th at 6 o'clock, and tickets are $7. With photographer Courtney Gibson, this is Miles Lyons reporting for Titan Television.
Another big event happening that weekend is prom.
Here's Katie Pinnicuff with some information you need to know about this special night.
If you haven't made those dinner reservations for prom, here are some places you might consider. Cheesecake Factory, Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Longhorn, Houston's, or Buca de Beppo. Another question on people's minds, where should we take pictures? We asked our fellow Titans about the typical cost for previous proms they have attended. On average, boys spent about $450, while girls spent about $650. Don't forget, Titans, prom will be April 25th at John Knox Pavilion, starting at 8. Tickets will be $30 and will not be sold at the door. With photographer Madison Faulkner, this is Katie Pinnicuff reporting for Titan Television.
Don't forget, Titans, silver cards do get in for free, and red cards are not able to attend.
Now we'll send it over to Levi Chrisman for this week's Titan Sports Update.
Good afternoon, Titans. Welcome to this edition of Titan Sports Update. I'm Levi Chrisman. Girls lacrosse had their first home game versus Lee Summit. Here's Anna Ostell with more.
The Lee Summit West girls lacrosse team took on their crosstown rivals, the Lee Summit Tigers. The Lady Titans scored the first goal, but the Tigers answered, scoring a goal immediately after. The Titans would not stand for a tie, so they quickly scored 2 more goals. At half, the score was in West's favor, winning 5-2. At the beginning of the second half, the Tigers came out stronger, but West would not back down. Both teams scored another goal partway into the second half. The Titans came out on top, winning 7-4. Coach Jay Hertzler had a few comments about the game.
I think once they got the jitters out of their system, it was the first game of the season. For a couple of girls, it was the first game ever, even at the at any level, much less varsity. I think once we got about 10 minutes in the game, I think the emotions started to go down a little bit, and their fundamentals got better, and we just got better as the game went on, and more confident too.
Come cheer on the girls next Monday against the Lee Summit North Broncos. This is Anna Ostell reporting for Titan Television.
Girls soccer will compete at Lee Summit at 6:30. The girls track team will race in the KU Relays in Lawrence, Kansas on Friday and Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning. The boys track team will race again on April 17th at Lee Summit High School. Boys tennis will serve off against Park Hill at 4 on April 20th. Boys golf will hit the green when they take on Liberty at 9 o'clock in the morning, April 20th. Titan baseball had a blowout game against Truman High School last week and will battle against conference competitors Blue Springs South. Here's Derek Cornell with a quick highlight of the game.
The Lee Summit West baseball program is currently 4 weeks into their 2015 season. On April 1st, the JV team took on Truman. Early in the game, the Titans took the lead against Truman, leaving the score at 3-1 in the second inning. Truman attempted to stop the Titans, but they were overpowered while the Titans ran away with the lead at the end of the second inning. The rest of the game continued to become the same story, leaving the final score at 16-6. Unfortunately, things did not go as well for the varsity home opener against Blue Springs South. After a hard-fought battle, Lee Summit West lost 5-2. This is Derek Cornell reporting for Titan Television.
The boys lacrosse team faced off against Blue Valley North. With more on the game, here's Alex Brown.
The Titans started out 1-1 on the season and traveled to Blue Valley North High School to take on the Mustangs.
We're supposed to get a lot of shots in cage. We tried some good lows, cuts, everything. And defense, man-to-man, play aggressive. They only had one good player on offense who carries their team mostly, and we're going to try to shut him off.
The Mustangs scored twice in the first quarter, leading them into the second, 2-0. With the second quarter ending fast, the Mustangs kept the lead and the Titans were still down 6-0.
This is definitely not our best game. I mean, this team, we could compete against them. They're not that much better than us. It's just, I don't know what happened. We just didn't play our best.
As time was running out, the Titans were desperate for a goal. Even with all the effort the Titans made during the game, there was no chance against the Mustangs. The Titans ended their game losing 10-0.
Well, defense, we need to work on communication. There's a lot of times that we fell apart, like we didn't know who had who or who was sliding. So a lot of times it was just easy goals that we gave up. And our offense just needs to get more shots on cage.
Reporting for Titan Television, this is Alex Brown.
This game moved their overall record to 1-2. Come back on April 22nd to see them play Olathe East at 7. That's it for this edition of Titan Sports Update. I'm Levi Chrisman. Back to Allie and Bailey in the studio.
Look down. Now look up. You're in a restaurant alone, and your date just left because you couldn't take her home, and now you're waiting on your mom to come and pick you up because you didn't pass your driver's test.
Look left. Now look right. You're in a stop sign with a crazy old lady who's probably going to fail you and doesn't give a crap about your test.
Now close your eyes. Open your eyes. You're in a stress-free car, practicing your way to 100% on the test. TDI, Total Driving Instruction. We work around your schedule, evenings and weekends. It's a pick-up drop-off service from school to home. So for more information, call this number, 816-918-5620. And remember, professional, courteous, and patient.
Good afternoon, Titans, and welcome to this edition of Question of the Week. We asked students and teachers this question. If you had a time machine, where would you go and why? Let's see what they said. If you had a time machine, where would you go and why?
I would go back to the 1980s, and so that I could go to Michael Jackson's Victory Tour, because the first actual one was at Kansas City.
I'd probably go back to 1989 when they first released the Retro 1 Jordan, and I'd buy just a buttload of pairs.
I would go back in time and I would bring an invention with me to become rich.
I'd probably go 50 years in the future because when I was a kid I wrote I wanted to be a Power Ranger, so I'd probably go there.
Probably back to dinosaur days, take a dinosaur egg so I got a baby dinosaur.
When Abe Lincoln gave his Gettysburg Address, whenever they have that picture, I'll be in like the corner of it.
I would go back to November 22nd, 1963, and I would tell JFK that he was about to get assassinated, so he would get assassinated.
If I had a time machine, I would go back to the day earlier this year that Garrett Adams wore a pair of American flag shorts that were embarrassingly short. So I would have my time machine brought me right before he made the terrible decision to put those shorts on and have him avoid his fashion faux pas.
That's all we have, Titans. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Question of the Week. With photographer Mitchell Adams, I'm Jordan Freilich reporting for Titan Television. Now back to Allie and Bailey in the studio.
Our last segment of the day gives a deeper look into one of our newer clubs.
Mackenzie Moore and Aaron Cohenauer see what the Gay Straight Alliance is all about.
Students who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender are 5 times more likely to miss school due to the fear of being bullied because of their sexual orientation. Luckily, we have a group here at West with the goal of accepting everybody, regardless of their sexual preference.
The GSA is the Gay Straight Alliance, which is a group for people who are LGBT or allies of that group.
GSA is a student-run club. The goal is to provide a safe and supportive environment for not only LGBT youth, but straight ally youth as well.
It's pretty much evenly split between people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and then probably a solid half the people are straight who are allies of these people.
If you want to attend GSA meetings, they meet the first Wednesday of every month in Miss Dinker's room, 2172.
It's good to know that if something ever did happen, there was a group that would stand behind me.
With photographer Aaron Cohenauer, this is Mackenzie Moore reporting for Titan Television.
This show has been dedicated to our fellow classmate, Caleb Gotway. If you would like to donate to help his family, you can visit his GoFundMe page.